Here are 15 things you should know before going zero waste, and here's what I wish I knew before I went zero waste. And if you're new here, I'm Kristen. Welcome to Strolling Through Life. Let's get right into it. Number one, you're going to produce waste. It is completely unrealistic to say that someone in the 21st century is not going to create any sort of trash. Also, you're gonna be consuming plastic, and that's okay too. Obviously, we're trying to reduce as much plastic as we can. And if you do see someone who is creating little to no waste, maybe they have more access to bulk stores, bulk sections, refill shops, stuff like that, that maybe you don't have access to. Number two, you do not need to buy any of the trendy zero waste swaps. It's actually more sustainable to just use what you already have, and trying to make something last a longer time is also great. So say you have a plastic bottle of shampoo, instead of just saying, don't want that anymore, I wanna try a zero waste shampoo bar, it's actually better to just go through that bottle of shampoo. And say you have like a Swiffer wet jet, instead of going out and buying like a fancy mop, try to refill the bottle that is connected to the Swiffer wet jet and then just keep reusing that. Number three, 100 companies are responsible for over 70% of all global greenhouse gas emissions. So we need to make sure that these companies are changing. It's these big companies that need to change. Number four, going zero waste is not going to solve the climate crisis. It's super important to look at our individual consumer habits and to see our impact on this planet. But a lot of the times the blame is put on individuals rather than these big corporations and governments. They are polluting the most. And that leads me into number five. Zero waste used to be an industrial term. So it was meant for businesses and organizations to reduce their waste and have as little waste as possible. But now obviously the term zero waste is more an individual consumer movement. And number six, zero waste, low impact, sustainable living. All of those phrases and terms can be used interchangeably, but a lot of people get stuck on this word zero, and they truly think that you have to be creating zero waste, which again is pretty much impossible. We're not trying to be perfect. And number seven, you can recycle and call yourself zero waste, and you can create trash and call yourself zero waste. Number eight, unfortunately, there will be zero waste gatekeeping online, especially, and possibly in your real life as well. I do get these comments, and they basically say that,
oh, that's actually eco-friendly. It's not zero waste because it comes in an aluminum tube, or, well, that's not zero waste because there's still some sort of packaging involved. It actually has to be completely package-free.
Did you know that most of the bulk sections at grocery stores, a lot of the products come in plastic? So even if you are still not getting packaging, the food comes in packaging. Like, it just is mind-boggling to me that there are people judging other people who are making an effort and trying to do better. Like, I just don't understand that at all. So yeah, we need to stop with the gatekeeping. It's about progress over perfection, and literally no one is perfect. Number nine, if you are gonna be buying zero waste swaps, research the companies and the brands you are purchasing from before actually hitting the buy button. You wanna make sure that the brand is actually sustainable and they're not greenwashing. And secondly, obviously look up reviews and see if the product is actually good. I had an Instagram comment say that they bought something on Amazon and it was drop shipped. And that is something to be aware of, because I am guilty of doing this when I first started. And that ties in with number 10. Just because a product is reusable or sustainable, that does not mean it was sustainably or ethically made. Buy quality over quantity. That is so important. So many fashion brands make things so cheaply. You just don't want things falling apart right away, and then you keep purchasing more and more things because your clothes don't last that long. It's better to buy one really high quality item that will last you a lot longer than a new item that's really, really cheaply made. I know sustainable fashion is really expensive, so that leads me into my next point. Number 12, buy secondhand if you can. Things are already in this world. It's so easy to find stuff that you're already looking for, and so many people have things brand new in their homes, in their closets, that they've never used before. It's new with tags, and you can find those items all over the place, especially on the internet. Unfortunately, sustainable and eco-friendly products cost more because they're paying people an actual living wage. It's ethically made and it's made from sustainable materials. Secondhand is definitely way more affordable than buying something brand new, and there's a lot of options out there. Plus, you can be unique with secondhand clothing that like nobody else has. Number 13, don't forget to repair your items before saying goodbye to them. People just want to buy something new if it breaks or something has a hole in it, and we just forget about it and we move on. And that's not how it should be. Look out for greenwashing. I know you've probably heard about greenwashing. If you haven't, it's basically companies saying that something is eco-friendly when it's really not. A lot of the big companies, these big corporations, have plenty of money to invest in more sustainable products or more sustainable packaging, and they don't do it, but then they try to greenwash some new products. Look out for things that say non-toxic, natural, green, eco-friendly, made from plants. Those terms don't really mean anything. So make sure again to do your research. 15, don't set unrealistic standards for yourself. I think there's so much guilt in this movement, and we don't need to feel guilty, and I am guilty of feeling guilty. I try so hard and I'm still creating trash, and especially during this pandemic, it's kind of been the most wasteful time during my sustainable journey, but it's just the reality. Like, you're not gonna be perfect, and no one is. Your mental health is important, so don't worry about that one piece of plastic because you're having a bad day. Like, it is so much more important to take care of you, because if you are not taken care of, we can't care for anyone else or for this planet. So take care of yourself. If you have any tips or recommendations for anyone who is just starting their journey or has been on this sustainable journey for a while, leave a comment down below. I wanna hear what your tips and recommendations are. Make sure to like this video if you did. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And just remember, you do not have to be perfect to live sustainably. I will see you in my next video. Bye! Thanks for watching.
I can't say no, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road.